everyone, welcome back. As always, I'm your host SEC, and today we're getting into the merch. Yes, the stuff that Disney gives us, not directly, but through other vendors, and the stuff that they love to see us spend our money on. The stuff that makes them money. Merch, it's what makes us collectors. Now, granted, nothing here to say that nothing to say that you're not a real fan if you don't collect. No, none of that, no gatekeeping. It is just, a lot of people, obviously, when they're a fan of something, they want to collect stuff from whatever it is they like. You do not want to see some of my bins. No. But anyway, and in terms when it comes to Gargoyles, we have not only the new stuff, but the vintage stuff. And the new stuff, granted, pretty easy to collect. Whether it's the NECA figures, the Q figs, the statues that are coming out, the comics, although I don't consider the comics merch, it is continuing storyline, but the Funko, most of that stuff, it's pretty easy. Whether you go to Entertainment Earth's website, Big Bad Toy Store, Best Buy, Target, GameStop, Barnes & Noble, Indigo, a lot of these places, unless it is retailer specific or retailer exclusive, you can kind of go anywhere and find Gargoyles merch. Stock numbers are a whole different ballgame. That's a thing where it's, that is one of the worst things about being a collector. It's website will show, we have stock, you go to get it and there's no stock in store, or you purchase it online saying there's stock and a day later, we actually don't have stock. Oops, sorry. That's a whole different thing. But unless it is retailer exclusive, for the most part, most retailers will carry the new stuff, including comic shops, obviously. And the upside of comic shops, they're also going to probably carry some of the vintage stuff. Now, granted, the vintage stuff, it is going to be a little difficult to find depending on where you are and everything like that. It is 30-year-old product, 28, 29 years, but it is 30-year-old product. And like where I live, it is a Gargoyles desert. It is a crying shame. The amount of searching that I do when I go back to Ontario so that I can bring stuff back, because there is nothing out here. I lived in a toy desert growing up, but I moved into one. That's the story of my life, apparently. But yes, when it comes to vintage stuff, you're gonna have to dig a little bit harder to try and find it. Granted, it is sometimes easier to find than the new stuff, in a sense. You go to eBay, you can probably find literally anything that has Gargoyles on it. Downside, as most of us know, is a lot of it is auctions. So you're competing with other people to try and get that stuff, or the person selling it knows what they have and is selling it for top dollar. That's the world of eBay. It's one reason why I try to avoid it. I also try to avoid it because most of the sellers are in the States, and trying to ship to Canada is a nightmare and expensive. Just don't. But if you are serious about collecting, eBay is probably your best shot. Just keep an eye on prices, look at what things have sold for in the past. So if there's someone with, that you can send an offer to, maybe you can get the price down a little bit. But anyway, so yes, everyone knows about eBay. Again, comic shops are a great place for vintage stuff sometimes. Depends on the comic shop, depends on the area, depends what people have brought them. Just the other day, I went to a comic shop just to peruse, and somebody walked in with their kid carrying 2 giant boxes of old comics. I didn't stay to look, but it's that thing of people will bring their collections, so you never know what may pop up. Etsy, surprisingly, is another place to find Gargoyle stuff. And I don't mean handmade stuff or not official, Disney Gargoyles merchandise. Etsy has kind of turned into a little bit of an eBay site without the online auctions. So if you're looking for something, by all means, definitely keep an eye out on there. I've seen Carousel. I don't know how legit they are. It's popped up every now and then for my searches in looking for stuff, but I haven't bought because everything I find is always sold out. Kijiji, at least for us Canadians, I'm actually never checked to see if it's a thing in the States. I remember Craigslist was North America, but I've never used Craigslist, and I don't even know if it's around anymore. Mercati, I've seen stuff pop up on there. It is American only, I believe, so of course I haven't used it. Poshmark, I have found a lot of gargoyle stuff on there, just prices I don't want to pay, but I've seen a lot of good stuff there. And one site that probably almost everyone hates to use, but I gotta be honest, when it comes to, you know, being a collector of numerous fandoms, numerous, I keep forgetting the word, franchises, Facebook kind of doesn't let me down. Yeah, Facebook Marketplace. It tends to have a lot of good stuff. A lot of people, you know, just want to get rid of stuff. Granted, again, you will find people that, you know what they have, so they're going to try and sell it for top dollar. But again, there's always the option of haggling. So there's always that. And honestly, I can't completely be mad at Facebook. Yes, I am in a Gargoyles desert, but I do have to say thank you to that one person who decided to have this listed. I have never owned this, and I'll take a better picture of it. But I'm pretty sure you all can, yeah. You all know the image. But yeah, $20. Yes, it is, torn in some places because it was, used and loved. They, wrote on it, got tears. You know what? I don't care. This thing, posters I never saw, and I wasn't a big poster collector as a kid, even though I loved them because it's, hey, here's this big thing of this thing I like. I just didn't collect them. I don't know if I just wasn't paying attention. This thing is getting framed as soon as possible. But thank you, Facebook Marketplace. It is the first Gargoyles thing that I have found out here on there that I actually could buy. So actually, it's the first Gargoyles thing on Facebook Marketplace. So also another site to keep an eye out on is Garage Sale. Not Garage Sale with a G, Garage Sale with a V, Victor. A lot of collectors on there too. Yeah. There are a plethora of sites to use, whether you're collecting new or vintage. It's just, if you don't recognize the site, I would suggest not using it. That's the only thing. And you know what? There are enough Gargoyles fans who collect, especially on, again, Facebook, easiest place to find a bunch of Gargoyles groups, where, you can pop in and ask people, hey, yeah, there's this website, I've never heard of it, is it legit? I do it all the time, especially like for anything that I'm collecting. It's like, wait, I haven't heard of this one. I just pop into whatever group, hey, who's bought from here? Is it legit? Blah, blah, blah. Because the last thing I want for it to happen to anybody is to input their credit card information into some scam site. So not only do they not get the item that they really, really wanted, but now, somebody's taken their credit card information and taken their money. I don't want that to happen to anybody. So do not use a site if, it looks a little fishy. Ask around, please. Otherwise, also, I can't believe I forgot to mention this. Another great place to look for vintage gargoyle stuff. Conventions. The Skybox cards that I collected came from a convention. Just one guy had a stack of them, selling them for dirt cheap because Gargoyles was technically dead at the time. And yay. But yeah, conventions. Always keep an eye on the smaller local ones because they're easier for vendors to afford the table cost. And I almost dropped my poster. I'm Italian, I talk with my hands, I'm sorry. And, but yes, conventions are also a great place. And the best part is if there's a vendor who has access to getting vintage stuff, but doesn't have it with them, you guys can make connections and they can keep an eye out for you. Great. And that's it for this one. My socials are down below. Follow or join the Patreon. You know, help support this channel and what I'm doing. Be sure to like and subscribe, hit that bell. And as always, be kind to yourselves, be kind to one another, and be the good that you want to see in the world. And until the next one, bye.